work at LV Prasad Eye Institute, and I head the Department of Refractive Surgery. Hi, my name is Dr. Praveen V. Krishna, and I work at LV Prasad Eye Institute, and I head the Department of Refractive Surgery. Hi, my name is Dr. Praveen V. Krishna, MD, and I work at LV Prasad Eye Institute, Hyderabad, and I head the Department of Refractive Surgery and Cataract.
Could you tell us about LASIK surgery?
Well, LASIK surgery is a kind of laser surgery that is used to correct refractive errors in the eye. Refractive errors means either a plus power or a minus power where people need to wear glasses. Most commonly, LASIK is done for people who have a minus power, also called short-sightedness, because people can see things at short distances but can't see things can't see distant objects rather. So LASIK surgery is very good for correcting low amounts of minus power in the eye.
Why do people prefer this surgery?
Well, LASIK is the reason why people like LASIK is maybe twofold. One is lifestyle related because wearing glasses is an impediment for a number of activities. Obviously, glasses are an impediment for cosmesis too. But then again, LASIK also impedes a number of activities like sports or swimming that people would like to participate in. And also for those of you who wear glasses, you would understand that getting up in the morning and having to search for your pair of glasses is not exactly something that you enjoy doing. Another reason why LASIK is preferred over glasses is because it gives people a wider field of view. Glasses are going to limit your field of view to the area that your glasses are at. And also the fact that you're going to have a 24-hour correction of your vision without having to wear any external device. Wearing contact lenses is another option, but contact lenses again only part-time visual correction. You can use contact lenses maybe for 12 hours a day, not more than that.
Could you tell us about the procedure with respect to farsightedness and nearsightedness?
Well, LASIK can be done for both farsightedness as well as nearsightedness. Farsightedness is called hyperopia or the plus power. Nearsightedness is called myopia or the minus power. Now, LASIK primarily is used to treat minus power or nearsightedness and can correct as low numbers as 0.5 to as high as minus 12 in the eye. For farsightedness or plus powers, LASIK doesn't work as well. It is limited to around +4 of farsightedness to achieve optimal correction.
What do you suggest for patients with higher number of farsightedness?
LASIK actually works very well for patients or people who have lower numbers, that is numbers that are less than -8. For numbers more than -8, though LASIK can be done, it probably is not the procedure of first choice. The procedure of first choice probably would be either wearing contact lenses or maybe having a lens implanted within the eye. Now, this lens is called the ICL or a phakic IOL and has been very successful and can be used even for people who have powers up to -22 and -23.
What's the eligible criteria you look for when you look for patients for LASIK?
Well, LASIK is not for everyone, so I think it's very, very important to go through a thorough examination before you or your doctor decides that you're suitable for LASIK. First up, the minimum age to have LASIK is 18 years. For two reasons again. One is the power in the eye tends to vary till approximately around 18 years. And the second reason is again, LASIK being a primarily cosmetic kind of a procedure needs consent as an adult. So you need to be beyond 18 to have LASIK surgery. Secondly, and probably more importantly, the power in the eye should be stable. Even some people who are beyond 18, the power keeps increasing. So it's important that at least for the last 6 months, there shouldn't be a variation in the power of the eye. Other things that are important are the fact that there should be no active eye, that is ocular or systemic problem in the body. There should be no history of any past surgeries. It can be done after surgery again, but then not optimal. Patients should not have very severe dry eyes and patients should not have any severe active allergies or infections in the eye. Need a better mic.
What are the tests done before you consider patients for LASIK surgery?
Well, before somebody is considered for LASIK surgery, there are a couple of important tests to undergo. First up, we would recommend a comprehensive eye examination. That is an examination that looks at all parts of the eye, the front, the back, measures the pressure in the eye, and the like. In addition to this, it's very important to measure the thickness of the cornea. The cornea is the black part of the eye in front of the eye. So only patients who have adequate thickness of their corneas can undergo LASIK surgery. Secondly, we do a very important test called corneal topography, which measures the curvature or the shape of the black part of the eye, again the cornea. So only if this is normal can you have LASIK surgery without complications in the future.
Could you tell us complications during the surgery and post-surgery?
Well, LASIK is a very, very safe procedure. It's probably the most commonly performed surgical procedure anywhere in the world as of today. And the rate of complications is extremely low. The rate of complications during surgery is between 1 and 3%, which means to say that 99%, up to 99% of patients come out of surgery without a problem. Post-op complications, there are side effects of LASIK like dryness of the eye, which most people will experience. But the most severe complications of LASIK, say like getting an infection in the eye, are extremely, extremely rare. They're of the order of 1 in 5,000 eyes, so which is extremely rare.
What are the contraindications for LASIK?
Contraindications for LASIK would be somebody whose refractive error of power in the eye is not stable. Patients have a condition called keratoconus, which is an absolute contraindication to have LASIK. Severe dry eyes, somebody who's pregnant or who's nursing is again not a good candidate. Somebody who probably is involved in activities like boxing or other contact sports where the eye could be injured, again may not be a great candidate for LASIK. And we have alternatives for those patients where we could do a surgery called PRK, which is equally good and does not involve the creation of any flap on the cornea.
Could you tell us the success rate for LASIK?
Well, success again is very difficult to define, but I guess if you define it from the point of view of patient satisfaction, international literature cites that 97.5% of patients are satisfied after LASIK surgery, and I would tend to agree with that.
Any post-op care that you would suggest for the patients?
Well, post-op, I guess 1 day of rest with being confined indoors actually will suffice to heal the eye after LASIK surgery. You really do not need to restrict your activities beyond 1 day or take any special precautions beyond 1 day. A couple of things that we advise our patients though is to avoid exposure to dirty water like swimming, and avoid use of cosmetics around the eye like kajal for approximately a week after surgery. Also advise them not to rub their eyes vigorously for around a week after surgery. That's about it.
What's the vision rate the day after the surgery?
Well, again, most of the patients that we operate, again, would be 20/20 on the first day post-op. 20/20 is normal vision. We do have a large subset of patients who have vision that is better than 20/20. But then again, vision tends to get stabilized approximately 1 week after surgery. And the final visual acuity probably is around 3 weeks after surgery. So that's how long we wait before we pronounce the visual acuity as final.
Could you tell us about the machines used for the surgery?
Well, there are a number of machines that are used for LASIK surgery, but 2 primary machines right now. One machine is called the excimer laser, which actually does the laser surgery on the eye. And the second machine is a machine that creates a flap on the eye. So this is called a flap maker. Now, these flap makers, again, are of 2 varieties. You have the mechanical one, which uses a blade to make a flap, akin to a razor blade. And you have the more advanced femtosecond laser machine now, which is a laser that makes the flap. So the most advanced kind of laser surgery right now is called femtosecond LASIK, where a laser is used to make the flap is lifted, a second laser is used to do the correction on the eye, and then the flap is left back in place and it sticks without leaving any sign of LASIK surgery or any surgery has been done. There is another procedure that is coming into vogue now, and this is called SMILE. It's called small incision lenticule extraction. Can be done only by a few machines, but then this probably is going to be where the future of LASIK surgery is headed, because this involves doing LASIK without creating a flap in the eye.
Could you give us an idea of the cost of these surgeries?
Well, LASIK surgery again is very variable. The cost of surgery would vary anywhere between 30,000 for both the eyes, up to 95,000 for both the eyes at our institute, and would vary at different places depending on a number of factors.
Is there any question I haven't asked you, but I should have asked you?
I guess the one question that everybody asks me is, why do I wear glasses when I actively do LASIK surgery? And this is something that most of the patients in the clinic do ask me. Well, the honest answer is the fact that I'm not suitable to have LASIK. My corneas are not thick enough. I actually did get myself evaluated for LASIK surgery, but I was refused at 2 places. So I'm stuck with glasses, unfortunately.
Well, thanks a lot for your time.